So when it comes to music distribution, I've been a voice of the independent label, the independent artist, for a long, long, long time. I've been an independent artist for the last 20 years. And ever since I left the majors, said to myself, yo, the day that we have, listen, I used to say that back in the days. I used to tell Eligio, Sumia, I was like, listen, the days that we don't have nobody between us and the listeners is the day we win. Because that day, it's just about you and the quality of your music and the reception of the public. There's no third party radio, DJ, anybody that is gonna be like, oh, you have to pay me for me to promote your music, or you have to pay me for me to play your music video on TV, etc., etc. And we got there. We got there back when I uploaded my music on CD Baby, and I was the first African to ever sell 100,000 songs on iTunes. I was the first one back in 2004, 2005. We arrived very far today, where we now have the possibility to, from here, from my house, from my studio in my house, I can record my music, record a podcast, do live streaming with the quality that you find on TV, and all this. The only thing that is between me and you is the platform. And the platform are more or less transparent enough to not try to mess up with my editorial. And whether you listen to me on Spotify, on Deezer, on TikTok, on Apple Music, on Amazon Music, or Boomplay, or whatever the platform is, there's no label between me and you. There's no radio. It's just, yeah, you, me, and the algorithms. And we arrived to the promised land where 60% of the money, I'm talking about billions of dollars. I don't have the numbers here. 6, 7, 8 billions are money that is generated by independent musicians away from the majors. And what the mafia at Universal is doing? Well, you went to this new country far away from us because you don't like us and our tax. Let's buy the country where you at. That's exactly what they're doing. Listen, my distribution for all my catalog between 2003 and 2008. So Taina, Eligio, Sumia, my first 8 albums, Grand Maquis, Mika Mendes' first album, Looney Johnson, 2 albums, all that is on CD Baby as a distributor. The publishing, the Sushiro publishing, is handled by Song Trust, which is a company that will create a sub-publishing for you, so you don't need to sign with a big label as a publisher. You can just be with them. They take 10% and they become a publisher for you. So I have signed a few people in my publishing back in the days. Sumia, Eligio, Mark G, beatmakers, singers. All that is handled by Song Trust. And then you have other things that are, Fuga is actually something that a lot of the distributors use for the monetary thing. So back in the days, Downtown, who's the owner of Song Trust, also bought CD Baby. I was like, okay, cool. They also bought Fuga. They bought a bunch of companies, but now Universal buys Downtown. So when Universal buys Downtown, they buy. By buying Downtown, they now own Fuga, CD Baby, Downtown, Song Trust. So all of a sudden, all my catalog is now on Universal. And listen, I don't know what they're gonna do. I don't know what rules they're gonna implement, and I don't know if I want to be on Universal. I don't know if I want to have my distribution by a major company when I like being with an independent distributor when I can speak to somebody, and when I speak to somebody, they reply to me because I'm a big label for them. I generate a ton of money on their side and their size. With a company like Universal, I'm insignificant. But for them, they're like, if we take 1 million or 10 million insignificant people like Kaysha, this actually represent a lot of money. But then, are we going to be able to talk to the people the way we used to? Listen, I've sent a message to CD Baby about a problem I have. And after 6 months, they never replied to me. That's why I start moving my stuff out of CD Baby to TuneCore. And Sumia's free album, it's done. Now I'm going to see where I put Elisio's albums, Mika Mendes' album, and all my albums. I can put them in Believe with the rest. I can put them on SoundCloud. I can put them on TuneCore. I can put them up. I'll see which is better for me. But you see, it's a thing where when people have mafia ways and they believe that your money is their money, these corporations, that's what they're gonna do. They're gonna come and you're gonna move away from them, and they're gonna come find you. They're gonna find a way to take what they believe is theirs, which is your money. And listen, I'm gonna see what I'm gonna do. But it's a very interesting thing because back in the days, my manager was actually the director of Virgin Distribution, which is owned by Universal. And she was telling me, hey, would you leave Believe and CD Baby and move all your catalog to Virgin? And I was like, listen, sis, I don't see why I would. Like, I don't know, like, my percentages are already great at Believe. Now, it depends what you propose. And now, CD Baby has been bought by Virgin. That is owned by Universal. But they use Virgin, so everything is going to be Virgin distribution now. When 4 or 5 years ago, I was refusing to go there. Now I'm going to go there by force. So that's very interesting. It's this thing where whatever you do, they'll find you. And, you know, we are all happy that we have millions of streams on Spotify. But actually, if you ask ChatGPT, who are the stakeholders of Spotify? All right. Number one, stakeholder investors. You have the founder, who's Daniel Ek, and Martin Lorentzen, the Swedish people who have a stake, institutional investors, financial entities. Then you have public shareholders like me, because listen, a small lesson, everything that you use, you have to own a little bit of it. Listen, it doesn't need to be 10,000 euros. You take 100 euros that you have as an artist and you buy 100 euros in shares of Twitter, Facebook, Google, Spotify, etc., so that all that money that is made, a little bit come to you all the time. And me, I do it on my phone. I receive dividends all the time from Spotify, from all these people. You just buy a little bit of them, as much as you can. Buy a little bit. I'll have a little bit of Apple, a little bit of Tesla, a little bit of Mercedes, whatever you use. Buy a little bit of them. Listen, the company that owns Trace TV, I got a little bit there too. The company that owns X, Y, and Z, you just buy a little bit all the time, so that whenever there's a votation by the shareholders, you make your voice count. Because I vote for stuff. Listen, I vote for stuff that sometimes I don't understand, but I just vote anyway. I give my opinion. I read, I'm like, I agree, read. I don't agree, I vote. And this is something that you have to do, because you have to be one part of the public stakeholders. And you never know. When they get sold, you get money. When Twitter got sold to Elon, I got paid because I don't know how many shares, but I think I received like 1,000 euros or something. All right. Number two, record labels and music right holders. The major labels, Universal, Sony Music, Warner Music, and some independent label and Publishers and Collection Society, they all own a part of Spotify. So listen, when your music play on Spotify and people pay that's true, I have to change that. Thanks RL. So they make money from Spotify, which is crazy. And that was a deal that they did back in the days to accept that their music was there. And then number three, you have artists, producers, and songwriters. And then subscribers and users. Yo, listen, this is crazy. So all these things show you how the business works. The way the business works is we are trying to run away from these people, and they don't want to let us go. We are trying to make our money, and they are trying to take a share of our money. And that's crazy. And when we finally arrive to a point where we don't need those people, you can record your... Listen, my microphone is here, ready to record. I can record anything I want right now. Just put some milk in my throat, drink some water, and I'm ready to record. And then I can upload and play it on Spotify and etc. And then the distribution get a cut, 10% or whatever, or I pay them depending on the distribution, 10, 20, 30%. And then you get your money. And you are independent. But now if Universal buys the distribution, now you're back inside of Universal. You're back in the belly of the beast.